Hey folks, this is actually, I would say, probably week 11. Missed week 10 because I had a very bad week after chemo last week. Just showing you what the backyard looks like. It looks like that most of my daylilies are pretty much spent and gone for the season. This just cracks me up. This is an astilba that I put in very early in the season in this container and all through my yard because Mom dumped out the dirt from last year's petunia containers into this one box. Everything that we used that soil in has got petunias coming up wild. It is pretty wild too, by the way. A lot of the stuff from the early summer is fading now. Well, I guess we would actually call it midsummer. We're into August now. This is August 3rd. Happy birthday tomorrow, Kevin. This is that Russian globe thistle, kind of fading. This pretty little pink monarda is starting to fade. Again, look at more petunias coming up, kind of wild like. Different things that were thriving out here in the perennial bed are starting to fade, like the raspberry wine. However, I hardly come out here, but what I don't see my little Thisbe, the little hummingbird moth, on still going to this monarda. This is the raspberry wine monarda, and there's a little female or a juvenile hummingbird that just loves the crocosmia. Sits up there in the serviceberry tree and just comes down and feeds, and she even lets me take her picture really up close. The glads are really coming into their own right now, some really pretty ones. This is one of my butterfly bushes. This is a 3-in-1 actually. You can see both white and lavender on it. There was also a blue, which I don't have that. This was a foxglove that I had planted like 2 seasons ago, so I was very pleased to see this little volunteer make it through a couple of years. Again, the glads are really pretty this year. I like the Stella Kit white with a little touch of pink and lavender in the throat. The Asclepia, that milkweed, is doing really well. It's starting to draw a lot of. I actually had tiger swallowtail butterfly on it the other day. I can't wait to start seeing some monarchs. Hopefully we do see some very soon. This is that what's called Physostegia or dragon flower. If I had my way, I wouldn't have any of it in here, but despite being gorgeous, it just takes over an entire bed in like 2 seasons. So I left this one little plant here on this end of it. I'm sure there's plenty more in there, but I'm trying to pull it as I go. Coneflowers are in full bloom, doing really well. There's that pretty purple stockings bee balm. Still some red Jacob Klein in there. My butterfly bushes, this was a little one that I planted early in the season called Miss Molly, coming back up into full bloom again. The Blue Chip Junior, the original Blue Chip Junior that I planted a couple of weeks ago, and actually about a month ago. This is the Pink Cobbler that is coming up into a lot of new buds. Again, that's a new planting this year. And then I picked up those second and third Blue Chip Juniors right here about 2.5 weeks ago. Got them in the soil from Runnings. I love getting stuff 50 to 75% off at the end of the season. This Scabiosa, again, coming up into full bloom. There's one over there as well. You'll see, get out of the shadow here, some of the other colors of butterfly bush. Butterfly bush Buddleia is absolutely my most favorite garden plant. It draws everything and anything to the yard. I can see tons of honeybees on all of these blossoms. This Asclepia is doing really well. This is a pretty purple. Actually, it's called a kaleidoscope bee balm, and then there's a dark purple one in there that's actually called a black knight. There's a purple petunia that came up in the middle down there. This is a beautiful blue butterfly bush right here. This, I actually bought it last year, and it's the only holdover from last year's plantings that survived in this garden. There's another kaleidoscope over there. It's pretty. It's got pink and yellow centers. This one right here, I actually dug out of the side of the garden, and I can see it's going to be it's going to be purple as well. I have a pink one still left over beside my asparagus. I will move that probably early next year into this bed here. I would like to keep all the butterfly bushes here in the perennial bed. Again, I use the soil from that old the old petunia boxes containers for these. Actually, containers here have clematis in them, but hey, it doesn't hurt to have beautiful volunteers of petunias coming up through. The clematis haven't really done very well for me this year. Hopefully we can change that. Strawberry boxes. I'm thinking about maybe asking Randy if I can have a couple more skids he's got over at the plant and knocking together a few more boxes, because they're sending out beautiful runners, and I might as well double my, the amount of plants that I'll have for next year. These ones here are everbearings, and actually you can see right down there, you can see that they're starting to come into blossom, and hopefully I'll actually get a few strawberries this year. The critters got to all my perennial ones. Let's take a walk over to the back side of the garden. The biggest frustration here is the fact that all the critters have dug up all my glads that I planted in these boxes. I don't know. Outside of putting everything in cages, I don't know what to do. My cabbage is doing phenomenally after giving them a really good feeding, hilling them up the day before. No, actually, this was done the first week of the hilling of it, the first week of July. So it's been a full month, and they're starting to head up nicely. I gave them a spray of BT, Bacillus thuringiensis, and you can see that the damage from cabbage worms is greatly diminished. However, you know, I can see see the holes around the leaves in this one. I think I'm going to give them another spritz today. Again, look at that. It was a beautiful gladiola that was getting all ready to bloom. I finally have cosmos in bloom. I finally have some zinnias starting to open, and you know, this was so full of gladiolas. I just don't know if I'll ever get anything from them. The Rosa Sharons this year are phenomenal. Look at this gorgeous complete white one. Lavenders, we have lavender, pink, we have blue. This was a box that I put a bunch of annuals as well as the gladiolas in, because that was hidden in the garden. I just brought it out the other day. Thankfully, I had some glads there. This container right here was only about a 6-inch little sprig of what's called the bluebird Rosa Sharon bush, and I can see there's actually buds on it. So I'm interested to see if the catalog's pictures are accurate and it is a true blue. This one right here is a double red, and again we have buds starting on that. So keeping our fingers crossed that everything comes out exactly the way that we hope. The weeds have gotten ahead of me. I could not do anything last week. The chemo, even though they lessened the dose, it was particularly long in dragging out the symptoms. So I was just very, very sick, very weak for too long. This is my little lemon squash. I wanted to show you guys this. They say pick them when they're about the size of a lemon, so I probably have 2 of them here that I can bring in today. My squash plants, I pulled this aside the other day and I saw the hugest female American toad I've ever seen in my life. This is the Italian hybrid, the striped zucchini. Down here I have one of those big Magda hybrids right there. And every day I'm bringing in at least 1, sometimes 2 or 3 of the beautiful yellow. Actually, I'll probably bring this one in today. The yellow straight neck, my absolute favorite. I mean, it's just been a phenomenal bearer. I picked up the plants for $1 at Real Deals. My potato plants, I think these are the Yukon Golds, but these I believe are the Norland Reds. They're let's see, I'm 5'8". I would guesstimate that to be about 4'8" or 9. And as a matter of fact, I've got to come back and tie them up because the foliage is all overhanging my actual walkway here. I've got beautiful peppers, white Gretel eggplant, my carrots. The foliage is really getting up there, so I'm sure I can start picking carrots very soon. My tomatoes, I'm bringing in about 4 or 5 a day. Early girls, lemon boys, glamours, and I see I have finally ripening one of my Cherokee purples. Over here, these peas, I'm going to pull them off today. I'm going to pull them up by the roots, and I'll leave my beans in down there, and I think what I'm going to do is replant probably some more beans. This is, as I said, August 3rd, so about 55 days from planting for green beans or yellow wax beans. You know, within 60 days I should be able to. So by the beginning of October, I should be picking more fresh beans. Remember that plant I told you that I dug up by the side of the road, taking Benji for a walk? Look at that big, beautiful squash blossom on it. I know it's a squash. Maybe it's a pumpkin. I don't know. It's something of that family. So, I mean, hey, it was free. I found it on the side of the road. What can I say? My Ichiban eggplants are finally starting to blossom, and it looks like yeah, this is the big Black Beauty that I got it running a couple of weeks ago. Starting to get blossoms on those too. My early girl tomatoes have produced wonderfully for me. Very tasty, very early bearing tomatoes. This is a lemon boy. I'll probably be bringing that in. I think I still have a red glamour in this gargantuan bush here to bring in. The basil is already going to blossom. I picked up some that Galbani mozzarella, and I'm thinking of having some beautiful caprese sandwiches this for lunch today. My Swiss chard, absolutely beautiful right now. This is the best Swiss chard I've ever grown in my life. So again, the straw bales, I was sick for a whole week. I couldn't do a darn thing, and everything takes care of it. The Tuscan kale doing beautifully. My tomatoes, even my nasturtiums that I planted are doing well. We've got tons of I probably have picked, I would estimate 10 pounds of those yellow, they're called Capitano, yellow Romano beans from the stand of beans here between my cucumbers and my early girl tomatoes. Still have tons on the vines. I'm just going to let them go and pick them as we go. I do have little baby muskmelons down here. They're finally starting to see the little fuzz balls down there. Those are the actual melons starting to set fruit on my vines. My neighbor Elsie, she put a watermelon in. She's got a sweet baby watermelon right now that's probably about the size of a softball. Yay! My cucumbers, I have never had such crispy, delicious cucumbers in my life as what I've taken out of this garden. My eggplant, I'm probably going to pick that one today or tomorrow. These are the little fingers, such heavy producers. That one over there's got six eggplants on that one plant alone. This white eggplant here, even though it's all kind of scabby and scarred up, you know, that's just surface, folks. I'm sure it tastes absolutely delicious. The cucumbers, I've still got tons of babies. Yeah, like look at this guy right there. You know, I get probably one every couple of days at this point, but that's all right. I truly love them. This right here is dill. I didn't actually plant dill. This is actually coming up through the cardboard and the bales from last year because I had dill in the ground last year. This is a second planting of Tuscan kale. You know what I also got were seeds for rutabagas. I forgot to fill that bird bath. This one on the ground draws more wildlife. I've even seen a stray cat drinking out of it. But the bunnies drink out of it, the squirrels and the chipmunks drink out of it, and at any given time you'll see 5 or 6 birds splashing around in it. They absolutely love it. Down here, these right here are actually turnips that I planted about 3 weeks ago. I think that's actually what I'm going to put in over there when I pull up these peas. I'm going to plant the asparagus, or not asparagus, the rutabaga seeds that I bought a couple weeks ago. 90 days. And besides that, they always sweeten when they got hit by the frost. So if I'm picking towards the end of November, better yet, because they're just going to be sweet and delicious. So love rutabaga. It's one of those real unsung heroes of the fall crops. So again, this is my backyard, week 11, I guess it would be week 11. You know, I'm very thankful that I have some energy. I got a chance to mow the lawn yesterday for the first time in 2 weeks. But because of that, again, my silver lining is the fact that during this drought, my lawn is lush and green, and everybody else, well, you can see over there, everyone else in the neighborhood has yellow stubble. But, you know, this whole cancer walk this year has been one story of silver lining after another, you know, so you roll with the punches one day at a time, right, folks? Okay, peace out, everyone.